What's up, everybody? It's Jamie coming to you. For people that are new to the channel, my name is Jamie Lewis. I'm the owner of United States Trucking Company. On this video, I'm going to do like a 3-year recap or 3.5-year recap or something like that of my journey from company driver to lease purchase to lease purchase / owner operator, and then to full owner operator, and now owner operator with 2 trucks. Like I said, my name is Jamie. This has roughly been a 3.5 year process. If you haven't before, or if you're not, please subscribe, like, comment. If you have any questions, I try to answer the comments within a couple hours. Of course, driving, so I can't do it immediately for the most part. Yeah, I usually get back with you guys pretty quickly. If you're looking to get into trucking, if you're a company driver looking to get into lease purchase, if you're a lease purchase going into the owner operator, etc., feel free to ask any questions. No questions stupid or wrong or anything like that. I'm not going to dog you for asking simple questions. So for me, I'm self-taught when it comes to all this kind of stuff. I did as much research as I could. The reason I did this channel is because I don't want to say every video I looked at, but majority of the videos, it was kind of why not to do it, and kind of deterring people from doing it. And so I wanted to do a channel on this stuff to give people pointers, to give my take on things, to help people out that are serious on doing it and want to do it. And it's not for everybody. It takes extreme dedication. It takes hard dedication, hard work, money, discipline when it comes to money, and making sacrifices, because in trucking there's already sacrifices that have to be made, and then when you become lease purchase and owner operator especially, it's even more sacrifices, because not only are you personally not only are you personally invested into running and making money for yourself, but now you have to make money for the business to survive. Especially like me now, I'm putting another truck on, so now I have a bigger obligation to make things, to make sure the company survives. And so if that requires me having to stay out and miss a birthday, miss any kind of holiday, I have to do it no matter what. And it helps that when you have, if you're going to do this to this fullest extent, whoever your significant other is has to realize that, and they have to know the company comes first, I guess you would say. And when it in the big scheme of things, no, your kids come first, wife comes first. But as far as like little things, the company has to come first, which benefits them also. And that's the thing. So if you're new to trucking and you're wanting to, you don't know, trucking has changed my life forever. It drastically changed my life. But don't get the wrong idea that it's easy or that there's no sacrifice, etc. Trucking's not for everybody. The turnover rate in trucking is extremely high, because these recruiters lie to these students and stuff, and tell them, oh yeah, you'll be home every weekend, and all this stuff. Most likely, starting out, you're not gonna be home every weekend. you're gonna be at least 2 weeks out, even 3 or 4, depending on where you're going. So get that notion out of your head. Unless you get super duper lucky, just plan on being out 3 to 4 weeks at a time. And that's the hard part, being a new driver. Once you get 2 years under your belt, the stuff that you can do or places you can go drastically opens. So like over here, Gorley Trucking, if you have you have to have 2 years to get on here as an owner operator. Now that's 2 years driving experience, or CDL experience. That's not owner operator experience. So, once you hit that threshold, the stuff that you can do opens way up. And you're constantly, still learning. But anyway, so let's get into my 3.5 years of this this process. Sorry. So I started out driving back in, I think it was like 2015 or something, late 2015, something like that. So I've almost had my CDL 10 years now. 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, something like that, I quit trucking. I got that notion. Everybody gets it every now and then. I got that notion. I'm gonna quit trucking and go do something else. So I went and worked for my dad's construction company. 8 months into, which then it's not the first time I worked construction. I worked construction off and on for him and his company since I was 13. So working there, 8 months in, I'm like, I have a CDL. I was making good money. Don't get me wrong. But I can be, if I chose the right path in trucking, I could be making more money, and not breaking my back while doing it. So, I sat down, thought up a plan, where I wanted to go, and as if I'm going to do trucking, I want to take it as far as I can, and get where I want to go, which was own a company and own multiple trucks. Now, that's not for everybody. There's different things for people. Like I went over before, there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of freaking hard work. When I say blood, sweat, and tears, I'm not kidding. So I sat down, figured out what I wanted to do, and I determined the best way I wanted to get there, the fastest way to get there, was to do team. And prior to this, I had a buddy of mine, which is, if you guys are subscribed and have watched my videos for a while, Rick used to be my business partner. Rick's no longer here. He went to do other things in trucking. So I figured out what I wanted to do, how to get there. So I reached out. So Rick had reached out to me before. He was in a certain career, and it kind of flatlined. He couldn't go anywhere else in that career, so he reached out to me, want me to get him on my dad's company. And I was like, bro, you don't want to do that. If for somebody that has never worked construction and to just jump into it, which we did commercial, metal framing, drywall, etc. Sorry, there's a train behind me. Hopefully don't kill the audio. But so he reached out to me wanting me to help him change careers. And so I thought first person I thought of was him when it comes to teaming up. Now there's a big he didn't have a CDL. So I called him and said, hey bro, I'm getting back into trucking, and this is what I want to do. And I know you're wanting to change careers. And I said, trucking has changed my life forever. And I gave him examples, which he had seen me go from. So me and Rick have been friends since middle school. So he we grew up together. He's seen me where I was, and he's seen where I had gotten to at that point, and that's what he was wanting. And so I said, best thing for you to do is jump into this adventure with me and change your life. And that's what he did. He paid for himself to go to CDL school. He got a CDL, and then jumped in the truck with me. So at the time I was at US Express was my first company. Wasn't my only company, but it was my first. And I always liked US Express. I never had anything bad to say about them. They're a great starter company. And then they come up with their lease purchase program. So I was like, we'll do that. I'll give it a try. So I started about 8 months prior to Rick coming on. And it was an absolute struggle. We're struggling to make ends meet over there on that lease purchase program. The truck has 400,000 miles on it. They're charging $1,100 a week for it, etc. And so Rick comes on finally, and we're 4 months in, we're still struggling. And so I was like, this there has to be something better out there for this, because this ain't working. So I started doing my research, found out. So at this time, I've already been out here on the lease purchase program for about a year. So did my research, found a better program, which I went with a third party, which is Tel. So I found Tel, and so then I had to figure out what company to go to, because when you start out with Tel, if you don't pay anything up front, you get 3 options. You can either go to Covenant, USA Truck, or Trucking, whatever it is, or there's one more you can go to. So I contacted them and said, hey, we're a team, and originally doing my research, I wanted to go to USA Trucking, because they have a load board, a company load board, and I want to pick my own loads, even though I've never done it before. So contacted Tel. They said, since you're a team, he said, I don't think you guys should go to USA Trucking, because it's not very team friendly. I was like, okay, I mean that makes sense. We just, where should we go? They said, go to Covenant, and I never really did a whole lot of research on Covenant. I know Covenant is a sister or a brother, whatever. It's a brother company to US Express. They're related, even though they're totally different companies. So they said go to Covenant because it's pure team only company. So I was like, okay, so contacted Covenant, told them what we were doing. Tel told me it's going to be 4 or so months before we can get a truck, because this is at the end of COVID, and manufacturers are way behind on trucks and stuff. So it's like, okay, so Covenant told us that we could start driving one of their trucks as a team, and then once our truck's ready, just transition into being lease purchased like that. So I said, okay, that's awesome. So that's what we did. Immediately, we started making good money. I was bringing home probably $1,600 a week. Rick, which I have kids, so it's a little different. Rick was, he don't have kids or anything, so he was bringing home like $1,400 a week or something like that. So it's like, we were, it's decent money. So we were doing great. So then we transitioned into the lease purchase stuff, and we absolutely loved it. Loved Tel. Tel was awesome. They do have a balloon payment, which I don't personally. If you're serious about being a lease purchase, doing a lease purchase, you're not going to find any worthwhile lease purchase without a balloon payment, especially for a new truck. And that's the difference between US Express and Tel. Like I said, the US Express had 400,000 miles on it. They're still charging $1,100 a week for it. $100 and something $1,000, and by the time you get done with that and that lease purchase in 4 years, the dang truck's going to have almost 800,000 miles on it. What are you going to do with that? So with Tell, since we were a team, we did a 2-year lease, and so brand new truck. It had like 600 miles on it from getting up in Indianapolis down to Chattanooga. Loved it. Truck was very good quality. Never had any major issues come out of it. So they have their own breakdown. Like they take it out of your settlement, that goes into a different account and builds up over time. And yes, you do get that big lump sum once you are done the lease purchase. We had like 25,000 or something built up, which I will highly recommend. If you're doing that, bump, like as soon as you start, go ahead and bump up the 10 cents a mile. Go ahead and bump that up, because use it as a savings account for when you get done the program, because you're going to have to put something down to buy out to the truck, the balloon payment at the end, and you can use that part of that money to do that. So the higher you can get that account, the better off you're going to be when you're done the program. So, and then you get the rest after that down payment and all that's done with. So I would highly recommend bumping up that cents per mile. So we got on Tell for a while, and we got I always heard good things about Landstar. I always wanted to go to Landstar. They have a loan board, it's owner operators, etc. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Let's try that. So talked to Tell. They told us what we had to do, which you have to put like 10,000 down and all this stuff. So I was like, well, sorry, I thought I had a leak. So did all that kind of criteria, went over to Landstar, and we absolutely struggled. I don't want to say Landstar ain't team friendly, but it's slim pickings over there for teams. So found that out, ended up going back to Covenant after like 4 months, and we lost like $15,000. We hit bone bottom by the time we left there. So yeah, went back to Covenant to finish out our lease program. And then finally we finished the lease, and Rick decided to go do other things. And then so Gorley Trucking's where I'm at now. I've known Tim for a while. So I always wanted to go on there, but we never could because Rick didn't have his 2 years. So I went over here to Gorley. Been running over here to Gorley for 3 months now, I think. Making good money. And being an owner-operator is not for the faint of heart. It is a hustle every single day. I mean, every single day. Between handling LLC stuff and tax stuff to booking loads. And I will say it's better than Landstar. Landstar, if you've ever been to Landstar, you have to call. Sometimes, I won't say every single time, but you have to call 15 freaking brokers to find the load, and that's not the way it is out here in the real owner operator world. I would say 80% of the time when I call a broker, I don't get told, oh, it's not available anymore, or something like that. They are in the real owner-operator world, when it comes to the DAT board or these other boards, we have 9 over here to be exact. They take the loads down immediately, dang near immediately. So you don't run into that issue. So it's going good. Like I said, now I went from just being myself to now I'm adding a driver, which today is his orientation. His name's Jason. He's going to be running the Freightliner, truck 125. So can't wait for that opportunity to start. He should start running probably Monday. I don't think he's going to start during the weekend, especially being a holiday. I think it's Labor Day or something this weekend, or Monday. So yeah, can't wait for that to start, up and going. And then depending on how that goes the next couple weeks, my sister, I think I've talked to you guys about her before, or I don't know if I have or not, but I talked her into getting into trucking a couple years ago, because she's single. She was dead-end job at Applebee's or something, not married, no kids, whole shebang. I was like, why don't you become a truck driver? And she was like, what? I was like, why not? And you have nothing to lose, and you have everything to gain. And could not be more proud as a brother. She completely turned her entire life around. Became a truck driver, started making decent money, because she was living with my mom and stuff still at the time. She moved out, got her own place, just pretty much just went and did her, her own thing, found God and Jesus, and, her life has completely changed over the matter of 2 years. Couldn't be more proud of her. So she finally hits her 2 years this month, or this September. She hits her 2 years, and she's wanting to come work with me. So I think I'm going to try to facilitate that. Get another truck, put her in a truck, and that would give 3 trucks over here. So that's kind of my next steps to start working on, hopefully. And I plan to add more trucks on eventually. If you are interested in driving one of the trucks, send me a message on my email, which is ustcrecruiting@gmail.com. I'll save your guys' stuff. I wish I have some already. I'll save y'all stuff, and I'll reach out when it's time, when I get another truck to start running. I can pay $10.99 and W-2. That's up to you. It's, as far as right now, what we do is it's a 50-50 split after Tim or Growley Trucking takes his percent out, and after fuel. It's 50-50 split. There's no fees. There's nothing like that. It's pure 50-50 split, and I pay the rest of the expenses and stuff out of my portion myself. So I do that because I want to promote keeping my drivers happy and keeping them for a long period of time. And even if you never booked your own loads, and yes, you will book your own loads, you'll call the broker. That way it's transparent. You don't have to worry about that you're not getting the full stuff, etc., etc. So yeah, if you want that opportunity, feel free to reach out to me. That'd be great. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty much where I'm at right now. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I'm gonna say, disclaimer: what works for me does not mean it's gonna work for you. What I make over here at Growley isn't going to be what you make over here at Growley. It's all determined. How determined you are, how much you're willing to hustle, how proactive you are. Because I'm going to tell you now, if you're lazy, to put it bluntly, and this ain't to deter you from being an owner-operator. I'm just telling you what it takes for me to make it as an owner-operator. If you're lazy and you procrastinate a lot, don't do it, because you're going to lose your ass if you do that. We've had several over here at Growley that try to do that, and they can't make it. You know, I stay 2 to 3 days booked out. There's some guys over here that stay a week or two booked out. I don't like to do that, because if something happens to the truck or something, it's, you know, it's a chain reaction, and it makes me feel horrible. I feel rushed, etc. So I try to stay 2, 3, 4 days, you know, 4 days booked out. You know, there's some guys that try to stay, you know, wait to drop and then wait to get a load. That does not work. You know, you might get lucky every now and then, yes, but you have to be proactive. You cannot be lazy, etc. So, like I said, any questions, feel free to reach out. Yeah, I'm not going to bite your head off if it's an easy question or a simple question. You know, it is what it is. So if you don't know, you don't know, and you're never going to know unless you ask. So another thing, if you can't tell, I have a big head. I do promote a certain headset that I get off of Amazon. Love it. I'll put the link in the description. Yes, it is a paid for ad, or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, I do get a commission, you know, $1 or $2, whatever it is, off of it. But, you know, I got tired of those crappy headsets at truck stops, and they are expensive as shit. You know, a couple years ago, the dual one from, I ain't gonna say the name of the maker, but the dual head one, I thought would be awesome, and it would fit my head good because it looked big. No, it sucked. Hurt my head like crazy. You know, it squishes your ears down, etc. Especially if you're wearing glasses like I do all the time. So went on Amazon, found a great one. You know, it can adjust to form. You can form it to your head. It goes over the whole ear. It doesn't sit on top of it. Noise canceling. You can hook it to multiple devices at the same time. I do think they make a dual one now if you're into that. But yeah, love it. I've had it for over a year now. It works great. But yeah, I'll leave the link in the description for that. And also another thing, I'm going to do a video after this one about, I think I'm going to start doing another channel, you know, a whole separate channel from this, not just video, but a whole separate channel. I want to call it, as of right now, I'm going to call it the Truckers Lounge. And so if you want to go check out that video I'm going to do, kind of explaining what I want to do and stuff for all you guys that are subscribed and everything. I'll explain what I want to do with that and all that. But until next time, you know, I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you guys later.